the truth is painful.
You can't handle the truth!
Welcome to Todd's Truth. Todd wrestles with the truth. My AEW Week In Review. Tonight's review is AEW Dark Elevation, Episode 10. This was a great show from beginning to end. Every match was good in this one. Which is, awesome to see. But yeah, it was, beginning to end, this thing was just great. So yeah, let's get into it, because it was a long episode. First match of the night was Jungle Boy versus Adrian Alanis, with Marco Stunt coming out with Jungle Boy. Every time I see Jungle Boy wrestle, he just keeps getting better and better. And with his finishing move now being the submission move called the snare trap, it's really good. This was a good match for both competitors here. You got to see some good stuff from both of them. But Jungle Boy got the win in this match with the snare trap. Again, this goes back to all of these different AEW wrestlers who not normally known for submission moves. Like Jungle Boy, he was a high flyer and, a speed man. Well, now they're all getting submission moves. So I don't know if this is something just taking place in AEW for a reason or just something new. But yeah, you're seeing a lot of AEW wrestlers now suddenly, who never did them before, suddenly whipping out submission moves now as finishing moves. So it's kind of weird, but I like his move. It's a really good move. And he got the win. Next match of the night was Dustin Rhodes versus Aaron Solo with the Factory in his corner. So anytime you see Dustin Rhodes in a match, you know it's going to be a good match. So this started off really well. Dustin Rhodes, being the veteran that he is, started winning, started getting ahead in things, and then Camarado cheated on the outside this time and attacked Dustin Rhodes. But I don't know what happened or how it happened, but the referee actually saw it. What? When did these referees actually, get their eyes checked and they actually see things? What? Normally they're blind as bats and have no peripheral vision either. But this referee actually saw it happening. I don't know where that came from. That was weird. So he ejected the Factory, and Aaron Solo, had to go it alone with Dustin Rhodes. And Dustin Rhodes kicked his butt. So that just proves that most of these guys, QT Marshall included, this Anthony Ogogo is not even a wrestler. He's just barely a rookie. I think he's only had one ridiculous squash match. And I think the only one in this group that's really good is Camarado. Just because he's a big, beefy boy. And man, what a monster. But there's going to be a match set up because Camarado came out after the match and once again attacked Dustin Rhodes with the cowbell. His own cowbell. So I think this is setting up the next feud for this group is going to be Dustin Rhodes and Camarado. But yeah, Dustin Rhodes got the win because Solo didn't have the experience to take him on, and he didn't have the Factory out there cheating for him. So, good match. And this was probably one of the matches of the night, just because it's Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Holy crap. I don't know why anybody would even want to get in the ring with these two. Because, like last week, this week, two poor guys, Danny Limelight, great guy, and Royce Isaacs get in the ring, and they just get destroyed by Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Most of the time, like last week, the bell didn't even ring, and they attacked the opponents and had them destroyed a minute after the bell rang because they just attacked them head on. This was pretty much the same thing, but there was some funny stuff in this where Kingston was doing some stuff kind of dirty, and Moxley was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And they're yelling at each other. He's like, "What? Do you think you can do better?" So Kingston went over and tagged in Moxley and goes, "Oh yeah." And he points at the ring, and he's nonchalant pointing at the ring. And he goes, "Yeah, show me you can do better." So I don't know. They were arguing with each other about funny things. I was laughing through parts of this match because the way that they were just yelling at each other. And But yeah, they destroyed these two poor guys. So that was another great match on this card, because so far this has been one of the best elevations I've seen. And this is episode 10. So yeah, we're in 10 weeks now. So this is a great match. Like I said, Moxley and Eddie Kingston get the win. Now here's another great match, because you've got the Murder Hawk, Lance Archer, who's just, I think they said he was 6'8" or 6'9". He is a monster. He's big. Against Bear Bronson, who is one half of Bear Country. So his partner is injured, so he's doing singles matches. But there are times when you can see that Bronson is missing his tag team partner, because he's not as used to singles matches as he is to tag team matches. So there are times that, like, you see him go for the corner, like for a tag, and he's like, oh crap, there's nobody there. That's right. Okay. But he's a big guy as well. So, I mean, he's not as tall, but he is big. I mean, wide. And so this was another great match. I mean, and with this beating each other up. I mean, beating the crap out of each other. These two went at each other. But Archer did get the win in this, and to my surprise, and to Jake the Snake's surprise, and to the other commentators, Paul White and Tony Schiavone, Lance Archer was actually able to pick up Bear Bronson over his head and do his finishing move, which is, you hold him up like you're going to do the Razor's Edge kind of move, but he flips them over himself and flips them down on his back. He doesn't launch them. He actually picks him up and curls him and flips him. So yeah, Bear Bronson is a big dude, and he was actually able to do it, which I was surprised, and so was everybody else. But after that, his finishing move, he got the win. Another great match. Then there was a really good interview with Paul White. Paul White has become a really good interviewer, and he is a hilarious commentator. I mean, some of the stuff, he's up there rivaling Taz now as being one of the funniest dudes to listen to on commentary, because he says stuff that's hilarious, stuff about his missing hair, how he misses his hair, how he, these different things. It's so funny. So he did another really great interview, this time with Ryan Nemeth. His gimmick is the Hollywood Hunk, because he's been doing some acting stuff that's really awesome for him. In Hollywood, he's appeared on several TV shows. He was on Jimmy Kimmel. He said he was on Nickelodeon, doing a kids show, and all these different things. And he's been working as a stuntman, and now he's happy to he's happy to be in AEW, because now he has a wrestling place to call home. So before he was just doing wrestling, he was just going all over for whoever wanted to book him. But he was saying how happy he was to be on AEW and have somewhere to actually call home for wrestling. So it was a really good interview, and Paul White has just turned into a really great interviewer. So the next match of the night was Layla Hirsch, who's really good. I love her, because of her dominating amateur background. She gets you on the ground, and she'll keep you there, and if she locks in her finishing move, you're done. It is a great armbar lock-in that she does. But this was Layla Hirsch versus Natalia Markova. Which is funny, because both of them are originally from Moscow. So I thought that was funny that they were both Russians and both from Moscow. I was like, dang, that's cool. But another great match. Layla Hirsch's ground game is just solid. She got the win in this because she locked in that cross armbar. And once she locks in that armbar, the women, it doesn't take them maybe a minute, and they'll tap out. Because if you don't tap out, if she wants to wrench it back, what that armbar can actually do is dislocate your shoulder. So yeah, Layla Hirsch gets another win. Impressive looking victory. The next match of the night, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. They have turned into a really good tag team already. And I think this is only their second match, because they were on last week. Jalen Braden and Trevano Jordan, I think it's how you said his name. But yeah, they're just good. Scorpio Sky is one of my favorite wrestlers. So yeah, once they just took control of this match, they're probably one of the best tag teams now in AEW, which is saying a lot, since the AEW tag team ranks are stacked. And so these guys becoming a tag team is just, yeah, it just adds more to that tag team division, showing that AEW, if you're a tag team, AEW is the place to be. And they got the win. Next match of the night was the Bunny versus Kailyn King. Kailyn King's been racking up some pretty good wins lately, and the Bunny, yeah, I love that she's back because I think she's a great wrestler, and just she's too good to just be a little manager at ringside for the Butcher and the Blade. But yeah, having her back wrestling is really awesome, and this was a really good match, except for the interference and everything that was going on again from the outside because of Hardy and his little group. So that's how I think it was Matt Hardy. Actually, the Blade distracted the referee. Matt Hardy handed the Bunny something while she was being held in the corner, and she punched Kailyn King right in the jaw with it, and yeah, dropped her, and she got the win by cheating. She's too good of a wrestler to need this kind of stuff. So, but yeah, she got the official win, but it was by cheating. And I don't understand how the referee didn't see this, since Kailyn King couldn't get back up. And there was this thing sitting in the corner that everybody saw, including the announcer saw it, the camera saw it, they pointed right at it. But yet those blind referees didn't even, oh, what's that on the ground? Nope. So, yep, the Bunny got the win. Yeah, this was another good match. I'm still not sold on the Acclaim. Yeah, they're okay. I'm still not sold on them, but this was a really good match, and this showed just how good of wrestlers these two are. They're great wrestlers. I'm just like, meh, on the gimmick and the thing for it. But yeah, the Acclaim got the win here. But yeah, it was a good. Again, the wrestling is solid. It's just I'm not sold on their gimmick. Speaking of people I'm not sold on, QT Marshall and his heel turn. Still not an intimidating guy. I'm like, sorry, there's much more intimidating people. Like Camarado's more intimidating than you. But this was QT Marshall against Baron Black, and of course, QT Marshall can't win a match without having his cronies outside cheating. So that's again what it was. Camarado attacked Black at one point, and I think Solo did too. So yeah, but QT Marshall got the win with the Diamond Cutter. But again, if he's so intimidating and so good, but he can't win without cheating, and the match that he didn't have the factory to cheat for him with Cody Rhodes whooped his butt. So yeah, what does that say? So if you don't have the gang out there, you can't get any wins, which was also proven tonight when Solo lost to Dustin Rhodes because the factory got sent to the back, and he lost because they didn't have him out there to cheat. So yeah, QT Marshall gets the win with the Diamond Cutter. Another great wrestler here is Joey Janela. He is an unorthodox, crazy wrestler, but he can do all of the crazy hardcore stuff, but then he can turn it around and you're like, oh damn, he's a really good wrestler too. So he's just not a one-dimensional guy. So this was a great match with him and Garcia. Yeah, and just watching him wrestle is really impressive because, if you know anything about Janela, he was known as the hardcore guy. But yeah, watching him just wrestle he is good. He's really good. And since he tag teams now with Sonny Kiss, they're a great tag team. Sonny Kiss, great wrestler as well. So yeah, Joey Janela gets the win on this night. And yeah, just a really good match. A lot of really good matches on this night. And so here we go again with the Dark Order versus Private Party. So, yeah, Matt Hardy and his group came out, of course. But this time the ref was having none of it. The ref sent Matt Hardy, the Blade, and the Bunny back to the back, and all the members of the Dark Order that were there to the back as well. So I was like, oh, great, this is going to be a good match that's actually going to showcase these guys' wrestling abilities, which Private Party has turned into really good wrestlers. I mean, when they first came to AEW, yeah, they were okay. They weren't, the hype was more than what their ability was, is what I thought. But they've turned into a really good tag team, and they don't need all this BS to win matches. So I was thinking, great, get those guys out of here. We're going to see a really good match because Alex Reynolds And Alan Five Angels is good too. They're all good wrestlers. So I was like, great, we're going to get a good match. But no. So at one point, the referee again was distracted, because once the referee's distracted, they see nothing and they hear nothing. So Matt Hardy snuck in, attacked Reynolds, and gave him the twist of fate. Jumped out of the ring and started looking around like, oh, what happened? Oh, what happened? Well, the referee turned around, and Alex Reynolds got pinned for the 1, 2, 3. But he turned around, and Matt Hardy didn't even try to hide, duck down behind the ring so you can't see. No, he stood there. So the referee should have immediately went, wait, what the hell are you doing out here again? I sent you to the back. When did you come out here without me seeing? But no, he just counted the 1, 2, 3, and then they proceeded to attack Alex Reynolds again, and number 5, Alan Angels again, and then the rest of Dark Order had to come out and make the save. But I'm like, ref, you turned around, you looked right at Matt Hardy, and you went, oh, okay. When you just sent them back, all of them to the back. How did he get back out there, and what was he doing at ringside? So come on, people. This is the kind of stuff that just really irritates me. But yeah, Private Party got the win with the cheating of Matt Hardy. So the next match was interesting because this is the first time this group has been seen. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with this group. So they're Roman Roselle and Derek, okay, I might butcher this one, Pasturo, with the First Sergeant, which is the guy back there saluting. So they were saying that all 3 of these guys are ex-military. And the one wearing the beret there, yes, he is former Green Beret. So I'm like, oh, so this is another one of those suspend your disbelief, because these 3 guys can literally kill everybody in the company. Kind of like Danny Limelight. So I'm like, okay, but now I want to see what they're going to do with this group, because these guys were impressive looking. And yeah, Ryan Nemeth and JD Drake got the win because they're being pushed by the company. But I'm really curious to see what they do with this group, because this was the first time they've been seen on AEW. I'm going to look into this and see where else they've wrestled, because they're good. They're really good. So I'm hoping that these guys become a new faction and we can, push these guys. But yeah, because of the way it goes, Ryan Nemeth and JD Drake got the win. Next match of the night, another great women's match. Damn. So, Tay Conti, WWE, you're stupid. You had her and you let her go. She is an incredible wrestler. And she's also a black belt in judo and a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. What couldn't you do with her? So she was against Kia Dream. Another great match. Tay Conti is just so good. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about top tier wrestlers, women wrestlers in AEW. She's one of them. She is that good. Yeah, she got the win with her finishing move, which I think is funny, the DD tie. So I love it. But yeah, she's just a good wrestler. I mean, you could see the judo and everything in her, because she's tossing Dream around with judo throws, and then the jiu-jitsu you could see when she does the kicks and stuff. Yeah, she's good. And she got the win. Another great match. Anytime Penta is in a match, even though he acts like a dick, but an asshole guy, he is still a phenomenal wrestler. So, I don't know if this guy... This is the first time I've seen this guy, Robo, but he's good too. Really, I mean, they had a great match. Penta is, like his brother Ray Phoenix, they're amazing. I mean, they do moves that is like, how is that humanly possible? How did you do that move? You can't fly, or there's still gravity, right? How do you do that? But it was such a good match, and Penta is amazing. And Penta got the match with his got the win with his package pile driver. And here was another great women's match on the night. Thunder Rosa, she is really good. She's so good. She's wrestled in quite a few other leagues. She's still in, I think, NWA. She was in Lucha Underground, and now she's here. And against Robin Renegade. But yeah, once Thunder Rosa gets going, she's got the experience and the talent. Once she gets going, yeah, there's no stopping this girl. yeah, she got the win again with that new finishing submission move she's got. I don't even know what the name of it is, but it's crazy to look at because you're like, where's that? How is she doing that? It looks like something crazy you would see from like yoga poses, but with two people. So it's like, but yeah, it was good. She got the win with when Renegade tapped out to her finishing move. And this was the last match of the night, and poor Mike Seidel. Who did he tick off in AEW? Because last week the poor guy had to face Powerhouse Hobbs and got destroyed. And then this week he has to face the Machine, Brian Cage. Find out who you pissed off, Mike Seidel, and apologize. Just apologize to everybody until they stop doing this to you. Because Mike Seidel is the younger brother of Matt Seidel. And as good a wrestler as he is, again, he's no match, size-wise or power, for Powerhouse Hobbs last week, who crushed him, or this week, Brian Cage, that just destroyed him. So, like I said, Mike Seidel, find out who you pissed off in AEW, apologize to them, so they don't do this to you again next week. But yeah, Brian Cage just destroyed him. He had some good moves, Mike Seidel, because he's really flexible and he's fast. You know, doing that, he calls himself the yoga master. So, but yeah, he just was not going to win this match against Brian Cage. Like I said, Brian Cage is the Machine. He's a monster. And yeah, Brian Cage got the win after just destroying Mike Seidel with his finishing move, the Drill Claw. Oh no, sorry, he did not do the Drill Claw. He had a new move he called Weapon X. So yeah, he just debuted this new finishing move. So yeah, it was a crazy finishing move. Even the announcers were like, what? They both said, oh, he's going to finish it off with the Drill Claw. And he started to, and then he shifted his body and then did this new finishing move, which Tony Schiavone was saying he calls it the Weapon X. But yeah, crazy finishing move, very effective. And Brian Cage, the Machine, got the win again this week. So if you enjoyed this review of AEW Dark Elevation Episode 10, like, share, and subscribe, and join me in the next review for my AEW Week In review, which will be AEW Dark. Welcome to Todd's Truth. Todd wrestles with the truth. My AEW Week In review. Tonight's episode of Dark was another good episode of wrestling, with a couple of matches that were rut-row, kind of crappy, but overall, another bunch of good, really good matches. I don't think it was as good as Dark Elevation, but it was still a really good show with some really good wrestling matches. Let's get into it. First match of the night, Powerhouse Hobbs taking on Dean Alexander. Powerhouse Hobbs is just awesome. He is so awesome. The stuff he does, oh my god. Yeah, Dean Alexander had a couple of moves, but basically Hobbs just, like Hobbs does, he ran him over. Just all power. You know, it's hard for smaller guys to beat up a power guy, and Hobbs just keeps proving that it's even harder to beat up him. So Hobbs got the win in this match, and just another great match by Powerhouse Hobbs. Like I said, I love this guy. He is such a great big beast, man. Oh my god. And the way he just overpowers people and just slams them, literally runs them over sometimes. Just a great match to watch. And I love how he always says he tries to finish people off fast because he's not paid by the hour. So you gotta love that. But Powerhouse Hobbs gets the win on this one. Another good match for him. Yeah, this is one of those matches where I don't care about. I don't care about this little putz. Wearing that BLM armband. Yeah, go screw yourself, dude. Another good match for Dark Order's number 10 against Ryzen. 10 is just really good. And yeah, big strong guy of the Dark Order, their main muscle. And he's just become oh my God, he just gets better and better with each match. And it's so cool to see him on things like Elevation and Dark, because you can see his progression as a wrestler. Where if you only saw him once a week on Dynamite, like most people only watch Dynamite, and then they're like, oh, but I'm such an AEW fan. You're not a fan of AEW if you don't watch Elevation and Dark. Because if you don't watch Elevation and Dark, you have no idea what's going on Dynamite. And to be able to see 10's progression getting better and better as a wrestler each week, I love it. It's impressive. And 10 is becoming a really impressive wrestler. Now I can see why, he was chosen for the Dark Order, because he's exactly what he needed with his power and size to help complement the rest of the Dark Order. And then adding in Colt Cabana was a stroke of genius, because Colt Cabana is awesome. And in this match, it was all 10, because he just threw Ryzen around like he was nothing. And then once 10 locks in that full Nelson, yeah, good night. He ragdolls the people to death, and then they pass out from it. So yeah, he locked that in again, locked in that full Nelson, and got the win on this match. The next match is Chuck Taylor, who is fun to watch, against Aaron Rourke. I've never seen Aaron Rourke, so I think this might have been his first appearance for AEW. Yeah, but Chuck Taylor again has the size and the experience over, I believe he might be a rookie. I'm not sure, but it's the first time I've seen him on AEW, like I said. Yeah, just a good match. The rest of the best friends were out there. But yeah, Chuck Taylor got the win with his finishing move. And yeah, it's a crazy finishing move, because he picks you up, flips you over, and then drops you right on your head. So yeah, that's a hard one to get up from. So yeah, Chuck Taylor got the win on this match. Another great match. This was a better match than I expected to see. Lee Johnson, of course, you can see he came out with Cody Rhodes against Fuego del Sol. Everybody's always crapping on Fuego del Sol. It is so funny. On all of AEW, everybody craps on him. He's like the joke guy. Everybody messes with him. If you watch the Sammy Guevara vlog, everybody always picks on him. It's so funny. But he's a really good wrestler. And this match was way better than I expected it to be. I thought this was going to be Lee Johnson going out and squashing Fuego del Sol. But Fuego and Lee Johnson had a really good match. I mean, it was going back and forth. And there were a couple times there that I thought they were finally going to give Fuego the win. But at the very end, Lee Johnson reversed a reversal and got the win. So it was really good. Two great rookie guys coming up into AEW and showing that, AEW can promote and build new talent, where that's something that WWE cannot do. They go out and take talent from the indies, repackage them, and act like they're brand new wrestlers that look what we did in the training center. No, they just took an already established talent, gave him some new goofy name, repackaged him, and then they act like they created that wrestler. But it's not. All they do is, like AEW right now is creating new talent with a bunch of different training facilities, getting some of their fresh young talent onto AEW. And it's working out well, because there's been a lot of great talent coming out now. These new young guys are looking really good. And this was another pair that looked really good. Yeah, another great match. And speaking of one of my favorite guys, Colt Cabana with Evil Uno. I don't know where Stu Grayson is. I'm going to have to look into that and see. But Stu Grayson hasn't been on. He wasn't on Elevation, and he wasn't on Dark tonight, so I'm not sure why. I didn't hear anything about injuries, but I'll look into that and see why. But yeah, but Evil Uno and Colt Cabana are freaking hilarious together. They are awesome. And a pair of really good wrestlers. So the two guys that they were against, Vinci? Sorry, I'm butchering his name. And Duncan Mitchell. I haven't seen either one of these two guys before, so I think they may be new to AEW as well. But yeah, Colt Cabana and Evil Uno just rock these two guys. And the funniest thing was, after all these great, and they do some great moves together. My God. they had control of the match, I think, from the beginning and to the end. And at the end, it was really funny because Colt Cabana put, I think it was Mitchell in his finishing move, his submission move, and he got the submission, and he went to do a rollout out of his submission move to pop back up to his feet to get his hand raised, and he didn't realize Evil Uno had laid down on the mat and just to the side of him, and kind of like was posing while he got the submission, and he accidentally kicked Evil Uno right in the head. So and then he flipped over. Oh my gosh. And he grabbed Evil Uno, was patting him on the head like, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. It was so funny. Taz and Excalibur on commentary were both dying laughing. It was so damn funny. But yeah, I love these guys. I wasn't sure about the Dark Order when they first made their appearance because it was a little rut-row wonky kind of thing. But now that I've got to see more of them and see the Dark Order, how it works, and picking up Colt Cabana and picking up Alex Reynolds and number 10 and 5 and, all these different people, I really like the Dark Order now. I just wish that they would be a little meaner like they used to be. They don't have to go totally off the reservation and go crazy, but a little meaner would be great, especially dealing with Matt Hardy and his group. They need to take these guys out and just beat them because there are more of the Dark Order than there are Matt Hardy's group. So they need to stop being nice and just pound these dudes because they're really freaking annoying. So yeah, so Dark Order gets the win with Evil Uno and Colt Cabana in another great match. This was a David and Goliath match. Cesar Bononi and Marco Stunt. If you've ever seen Marco Stunt, you know he's about 5 feet tall. And Cesar Bononi, I think, is about 6'3" or 6'4". So, yeah, this was a David and Goliath match where Goliath got squashed. This wasn't even a... he got in a few good moves. Marco Stunt is quick and he's small, so he's hard to get your hands on. So he got in a few good moves, but yeah, when Cesar Bononi got his hands on him, Marco Stunt was toast. Getting chucked like 3/4 of the way across the ring, getting thrown face first into the turnbuckles, and then he tried to do a high-flying move, and Cesar Bononi caught him, got him on his shoulders, and nailed him with his finishing move. And yeah, he didn't get up. So this is the one where David loses to Goliath, and Cesar Bononi gets the win. Another good match. This whole factory thing, I've made my feelings on it abundantly clear. I think it's dumb. I think this little group is dumb since they're supposed to be this big, powerful group, but the Nightmare family has more members. So I don't understand why the Nightmare family in Force just doesn't come out and beat the crap out of them. See, why is all this one-on-one crap happening when the factory keeps attacking as a gang members of the Nightmare family, 1 or 2 on 4, or 1 on 4, 2 on 4, and instead of just coming out in force and just beating the crap out of these guys. But Nick Camarado is a really good wrestler. He's another big dude. Can take a beating and gives a beating. It's like he's one of these guys I want to see face off against some of the other big guys in AEW, like Powerhouse Hobbs. I'd love to see him go against Powerhouse Hobbs. The Machine, Brian Cage. Lance Archer, Miro. I think these would be amazing, great matches to have this big guy go against these other big guys and show what they can do. And but Camarado got the win in this, and another good match. Next match of the night was Sonny Kiss with Joey Janela in his corner versus Serpentico with Luther. And this was a match that was going pretty evenly with Sonny Kiss against Serpentico. But Sonny Kiss got the momentum, was starting to take out Serpentico. Luther, this was a weird ending. Okay, Luther jumped up on the ring to distract Sonny Kiss and the referee, so she couldn't so he couldn't get the win on Serpentico. So I was like, oh, that's a good one. But as the referee was going to get Luther down, Joey Janela jumped up on the other ring apron and started yelling at Luther. But the referee weirdly turned his back on Luther and ran over and started yelling at Joey Janela. Yeah, this is the face I made. What? And then Luther jumped in the ring real quick and kicked Sonny Kiss right in the face. And then jumped out of the ring, and Serpentico covered Sonny Kiss and got the win. So I still can't understand why the referee was going over to yell at Luther to get down. Joey Janela jumps up in the ring apron, is yelling at Luther, or the referee, to get Luther down. The referee turned like mid-step, I swear, and turned around and went to Joey Janela to yell at him instead of Luther, who was already on the ring. So, I think this falls under another one of these, stupid referee things. Like they're blind, they have no peripheral vision. Apparently they can't hear, and apparently they're easily distracted and will run to the newest distraction instead of the distraction that's right in front of them. So, Serpentico got the win on another stupid referee. I think I'm going to start a counter to count how many times stupid referees cost wrestlers matches. So, yeah, I might lose count on that. I don't think I can count that high. But other than the interference and the bad ending, this was a good match between these two. Here is another great match. Big Swole and Red Velvet with Kailyn King in their corner came out to face Vert Vixen and Jasmine Allure. Big Swole and Red Velvet, good wrestlers. Red Velvet's really a rookie. She's picking up steam. I think hanging out with Big Swole has really helped her wrestling, and adding Kailyn King into that mix has really only added to their group because they've become really good. Another great match. Big Swole and Red Velvet get the win, and I don't know how, considering Red Velvet is a fairly new rookie to wrestling and AEW, but she's going to have on the next Dynamite. I don't know if it's this week's Dynamite or next week's Dynamite. I forgot, but she's going to have a title shot at the NWA Women's World Champion for their title. So that's really cool because I didn't realize that All Elite Wrestling had that kind of a working relationship with the NWA. So that's cool because if that's the fact, I know that Thunder Rosa wrestles for NWA too. But if that is the fact, then that is cool because that means they have a working relationship now with Impact, NWA, AAA Mexico, and now New Japan Pro Wrestling. That is awesome. Oh my God, the fantasy bookings I can do with all of these different companies working together is incredible. I can't wait to see more of this. But yeah, on this match, Big Swole, Red Velvet got the win. Another good match. And this was another good match. Griff Garrison of the Varsity Blondes in singles competition against Dion Russman. Just another great match. Griff Garrison is another rookie coming up. And you can see him evolving every week, becoming better and better. And if you want to see some funny stuff, watch Sammy Guevara's vlog. Oh my God, I watch it every week and I die laughing every week. It is so freaking funny. He's funny. Sammy Guevara's hilarious. Man, it's just everybody in it is hilarious. Dustin Rhodes is freaking hilarious in it. Oh my God. Cody Rhodes with his appearances, so funny, man. But yeah, it's another great thing, and to see Griff Garrison, in the singles match was really good. And he got the win with his partner Brian Pillman Jr. out there, and the newest member of the Varsity Blondes is Julia Hart. They've added her as like the cheerleader of the group. So yeah, another great match. Griff Garrison gets the win. And this was another great match. Matt Seidel, longtime veteran wrestler. He knows pretty much most of the people in AEW. He's worked with them all probably. His brother Mike Seidel was out with him. And this was a really good match against Marty Kessler. This guy's awesome. He's taken some big guys to the limit. He fought Brian Cage and took him to the limit. I believe he fought Lance Archer. And some of these guys, it's like they're big. You see him, and he goes pound for pound with these guys. It's really awesome. But but in there against Matt Seidel with the years of experience he has, his power was pretty good, but Matt Seidel is smart and fast and the veteran. So he was able to get the win and in this match, which is great to see, because he's got a match coming up on Dynamite against Christian. So that's going to be a good match to see. So AEW likes him apparently, and his brother Mike Seidel, I don't know what he did to piss someone off, but man, he's gotten beat up for the last 2 weeks, having to take on Powerhouse Hobbs, and then he had to take on Brian Cage. Good Lord, that's a poor guy, man. I'd be finding out whoever I pissed off to apologize to. But Matt Seidel, another great match. And this is a match because Diamante got pissed off because everybody was making such a big deal over the return of Chris Statlander from injury. And then as part of the big deal, she also became part of the Best Friends, which gave her, a status boost. And I guess her coming back, because she was out with a knee injury, coming back and getting all of this praise and, everybody, ooh, Chris Statlander, really pissed her off. So, because she says, I've been here working and busting my butt. And so she got mad and went after Chris Statlander. So they had a match. Good match. Diamante's good. She's a good wrestler, good veteran wrestler. And it went back and forth quite a few times. And Chris Statlander got the win with her Big Bang Theory. This is another match I don't care about. I really like this Rika Tahaki. Tahaki. She looks really good. I don't care about the other half of this match. And I've made my feelings very clear on this. I think it's wrong. And I think that AEW allowing this is crap. So and another really good match. Angelico back from injury. Back with his tag team partner. But tonight he was having a singles match, which is great to see, because you don't see him doing singles work very much. Because he's such a tag team, a tag team pro. I mean, him and his partner. But it was great to see him in the singles match. And he showed what he could do. And against a wrestler who was trained in Mexico as well. And come to find out, Angelico being from South Africa, one of the places he went mainly to train was in Mexico, to learn that lucha style and the high flying stuff. And he's a big guy too. Tall. I think he looked like he was a good foot taller than Morales. But seeing them both do that lucha Mexican style is awesome. But Angelico was just on fire tonight. He got the win with his crazy finishing move. I'm sorry, I forgot the name of it right now, but he locks in what looks like he's going for like a figure four, but he jumps up in the air, spins around, drops to the mat, and then locks in what looks like an ankle lock while still in that figure four hold thing he does. Crazy finishing move. I've never seen anybody do this move. In the U.S. anyways, but I guess it's a move from Mexico. But I love seeing him do it, because every time you see it, you're like, holy crap, that is awesome. And he locked that in and got the submission win. Glad to see Angelico back. And this match, after seeing Luther, cheat to win the other match against Sunny Kiss, so Serpentico could get the win. This was a good match again, because Brian Pillman Jr., being, of course, if you don't know, the son of Brian Pillman, legendary wrestler, and so he's a second-generation wrestler. A lot more experience than his tag team partner has, but it was great to see him again tonight, both of them getting some singles work tonight, instead of being tag team. And again, he was accompanied out by Julia Hart. Another great match. Luther is cuckoo for freaking Cocoa Puffs, though. He's a wackadoo, but he's hilarious to watch in the ring. So yeah, good match. And Serpentico tried to interfere in this match like Luther did the other one, but unfortunately it backfired on him because he did it right in front of the referee. Brian Pillman kicked him in the face. that's what should happen to you. And did an off the top rope move that got him, nailed Luther, and he got the win. But then Serpentico jumped back in the ring and attacked Brian Pillman Jr. And him and Luther then gave a beat down to Brian Pillman Jr. Julia Hart ran backstage and got Griff, who ran out to break up the beatdown. And yeah, I think this is setting up for a possible feud. We might be seeing this next week. And also, that was not, a great thing that Brian Pillman Jr. needed right now, because on Dynamite, the Varsity Blondes have a tag team title match against the Young Bucks. So that's going to be an amazing match. And, this beatdown that he just took, I don't know if that's going to be great for him. He might be worn out to go into that match, but yeah, they got to take on the Young Bucks, so they better be at 120% because Young Bucks are going to come out and just kill these guys, I think, because they do not pull punches. So, well, if you enjoyed this review video of AEW Dark in my AEW Week In Review, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next review video, which will be for AEW Dynamite. Welcome to Todd's Truth. Todd wrestles with the truth. My AEW Week In Review. This review is going to be about AEW Dynamite. This was a show of two halves. The half that was really good and the half that was really bad. This show, right off the bat, to tell you, this show had more talking in it than wrestling. I felt like I was going to fall asleep several times during this show because it was so boring with talky. Oh my God, shut up and wrestle. But I think this is the most talking in a Dynamite match I've seen. It's usually about get in the ring and let's get it done. Not this one. This one had a lot of talking, trying to set up stuff for Double or Nothing, the pay-per-view coming up at the end of the month. And so I think that's they were trying to build stuff up, but what they really did to me is bored me to death on, at least half this episode. But let's get into the actual matches that went on, and we'll talk about the rest later. First match of the night, Christian Cage versus Matt Seidel. What a great match this was. Two awesome veterans and also very good friends. So they know each other very well. And that was the whole thing of this match, was that they know each other very well. There were more reversals and just getting out of the way of the other guy's moves. It was incredible. They know each other so well that they even knew what the guy was going to... It could have looked like anything, but they knew exactly what was coming, each one of them, and they got out of the way or reversed what the other guy was doing. This was a great match. Matt Seidel, I think, just overdid it a little bit and screwed up with the... trying to do too many high-flying moves. And Christian Cage caught him with a good one when he got his knees up when he did a moonsault. That hurt. And then what was the coolest thing, because I think this was homage to Edge, was he gave Matt Seidel the spear. So that's his brother's move. I cheered for that. I was like, yes! Because it made me think, I'm like, oh, I wish Edge was here with him. And then after that, he got Matt Seidel with what I so call the unprettier, but because that's what the move was called. But now he's calling it Kill Switch, I believe is what he's calling it now. So I still say the unprettier because that's how long I've known Christian to use that move, and that's what it's always been called. But for now, I don't know if that has to do why he changed the name of it, but now it's called the kill switch. And he got that on Matt Seidel and got the pin. A great match. This would be a great match to watch, to see two veterans, just go at it, because it was good. So the next match that happened on the night, oh, and there's a good picture of Christian when he got into the ring. And so far, outwork everybody he has, because he's now undefeated. So, hey, keep it up. I love Christian. I would love to see him wearing the AEW World Heavyweight title sometime, or the TNT title. I don't care which, or both. I just really love Christian. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. So this was the next match on the night. The Acclaimed against the Brutalizers. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Because all those two do when they get in the ring is they just beat the crap out of people. And I don't think it was very wise of the Acclaim to come down to the ring. I'm sorry, but doing that lame rap. But he rapped some stuff about Moxley's wife. Yeah, that was probably not a wise thing, because the Acclaimed barely set foot in the ring, and they got the crap beat out of them. Yeah, you're not really going to stop Moxley and Kingston. They just run over people and they beat you down. And this was a good match, but it's like, no, the Acclaim was not coming out of this with a win, that's for sure. But what they did was they screwed up because they tried to cheat. And really, you're going to try to cheat against these two guys. These two guys they know everything. They know all the ways to beat you. And so at one point, I think it was Max Caster, he got their boom box that they like to carry to the ring and use as a weapon. So he threw it in and trying to get it to Bowens, but no. Jon Moxley caught it and bashed him in the skull. And then, I've never seen this move. This was a new move too. So it was Eddie Kingston grabbed Bowens like in a wheelbarrow kind of look move, kind of around the waist, picked him up. Moxley ran over, and they did this wheelbarrow Death Rider paradigm shift. Sorry, I keep calling it Death Rider because that's what they call it in New Japan. And here they calls it the paradigm shift. So it was like Kingston, like I said, Kingston picks him up in like a wheelbarrow, got him locked around the waist, hoisted him up. Jon Moxley ran over, grabbed him in the paradigm shift, and they did it from an elevated position like that. So yeah, that was a cool move to see, because again, that was something new. Haven't seen him do it before. Usually it's the paradigm shift for Moxley, or he locks in his new chokehold submission. But yeah, that was a cool move to see. But yeah, the Acclaim was not coming out of this with a win, and Moxley and Eddie Kingston got the win. This should have been a warning for the night. Don't mouth off. Don't brag how great you are if you can't back it up. And I love nothing more than to see guys who brag about stuff and BS get the crap kicked out of them. So like I'm saying, remember this. This should have been a warning for the rest of the night. So the next thing on the night was more talking. Tony Schiavone did an interview with All Ego Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky about the match coming up with Sting and Darby Allin at Double or Nothing, which was set up in this. They came out, they started brawling, so they set up a match for Double or Nothing. More talky. The next thing was that MJF and the Pinnacle were eating at a restaurant. I don't know. I kind of lulled off into boredom at this point. Something about how great the Pinnacle is, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, don't care. Talky makes me bored. So the next thing match of the night was this. How do I describe this nicely? Hikaru Shida got the win. There you go. That's how nice. That's the nicest thing I can say about this. The rest of this match was crap. You had Rebel, not Reba. I don't care. The little crony of Britt Baker wrestling Shida. And, you know, they were trying to cheat like crazy. They did a couple of cheap things. And this also goes back to what I've said before. I think on my next thing, I'm going to start a counter for how many times matches are screwed by referees. Because, you know, in AEW, referees are blind, deaf, and stupid. Yeah, all kinds of crap happens. Why do they even have referees in the ring if they're going to basically treat the referee like a moron? It's really getting ridiculous. I think I might, for my next Week in Review, start a counter for how many times the referee does this kind of crap. But yeah, because, I mean, anything happens, the referee's all, oh, what's that? What's that? Oh, and goes running away to see what this is. Oh no, it's a distraction on the side. Oh no, it's this. But yet they're deaf, they're blind, and they have no peripheral vision. So if you hear something, if I'm standing a foot or two away with my back turned, and I hear Rebel crack Hikaru Shida in the back with those aluminum crutches, I'm sorry, that makes a loud noise. The referee did not even flinch, did not turn around and go, oh, you know, what was that loud noise? Come on, you guys. This writing sucks. You guys are making your referees look like the biggest morons on the planet. So then that happened. Hikaru Shida locked in her submission move on Rebel. Britt Baker just jumped in the ring and started attacking her, because of course she did. And this was stupid too, because you could see that Britt Baker is such a crappy wrestler that she couldn't even do a beatdown right. I mean, she did this lame move where she punched Hikaru Shida, put the belt on the ground, and was going to try to do a curb stomp. But you could see that Hikaru Shida was literally holding her pose and looking over at Britt Baker to see where the hell she was to do this move. That's how bad it was. So yeah, this sucked. And if they give Britt Baker that women's title off of Hikaru Shida, who's a really good wrestler, I will rip this women's division to pieces for this crap. And their shit writing. So the next thing was that the Inner Circle, 4 of the 5 members, came out to give their answer to MJF, and they said, hell yeah. So yeah, they're going to do another Stadium Stampede, which was awesome last year. So if the Inner Circle loses, which they're not going to, they have to break up forever. Never be a team again, or a group. So I can't wait to see this, because last year's Stadium Stampede, if you guys haven't seen it, you've got to watch it. It was so awesome. It was so much fun, so entertaining. And I'm just looking forward to this again. But this time, instead of the Elite versus the Inner Circle, it's the Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle. So this is going to be, and I hope it's going to be awesome like the last one was, because it was so much fun. So yeah, and then the next thing that was on the night was another interview. Tony Schiavone with Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill, yes, I'm great. I know I'm great. Blah, blah, blah. More talkie. Ugh. Boredom. I mean, when I get bored, I fall asleep. And I was damn close to falling asleep during this episode with all this talking and little action. So, but the next match on the night was this, which was Red Velvet, who I don't think, is at championship material yet. She's going that way, but to get in the ring with Serena Deeb, yeah, no. And it was funny that during times of this match, the face, the good person, Red Velvet, was acting pretty heelish during some stuff in this. Like, there was one point where she was choking Serena in the corner with her boot while doing her little, I don't know, mixing dance, whatever she calls that thing, while the referee was yelling at her to get the foot off her throat. Not very nice I'm like, wait, that's more like a heel than a baby face. But, it came down to that Serena Deeb is just a better wrestler, more experienced wrestler than Red Velvet. And once Red Velvet made a mistake, she was trying to do some high fly moves. Like she hit Serena Deeb at one point with I think it was a moonsault onto the outside, which that's a very dangerous move. If you or the person out there is not in perfect position, you could crash down on the concrete floor. And outside the ring, there's only a pad about that thick. If you've ever seen those pads they used to have in gym classes that they would put on like the basketball floor to do different things, that's what's on the outside. So if you fall from 6-8 feet or more up onto that mat, it's not very much protection. It's going to hurt. So I was very surprised that she was doing these moves, because I was like, dang, okay. But yeah, Serena Deeb got the win on the night. I think her finishing move, she calls it the Serenity Lock, I think is what it was. Because I was watching and go, ooh, that's a cool move. And the announcers were saying, and I think one of them did say, maybe it was Shivani or JR, but I think they called it the Serenity Lock. So yeah, good match. Serena Deeb is good. She's a good wrestler. And that's why she's the NWA Women's World Champion and still champion. So the next match, there she is at after winning the match with the NWA Women's World Title. Yeah, so this is another one of the parts of the night that were crap. This Anthony Ogogo thing is stupid. So you have this guy they're promoting like he's the second coming of what, I don't know. Anthony Ogogo was a bronze medalist in the Olympics. So that just means a bronze medal, you were the second loser. You weren't a gold medalist, you were a bronze medalist. So I don't know why he didn't go boxing pro, but maybe he wasn't good enough to. But he's not even a fully trained wrestler yet. But they're putting him in the ring to be a boxer against a wrestler, which makes no sense. Like I said in the AEW thing about this, I was like, this is a joke. If you want to have a boxing match in a wrestling ring, go get Mike Tyson to come back out and knock this fool out. But all he does is he walks in the ring, he doesn't wrestle, he just starts punching the wrestler. If this is supposed to be a boxing match, then don't wrestle. Be a boxing match. But this is supposed to be a wrestling match, and he can't wrestle, but he just punches people. So let's go get a real boxer, a pro, which he isn't, and come out here and kick his ass. That's what I think. I think this is crap, and I think that him just punching people, bare knuckle punching like a boxer, is stupid. This makes no sense. Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. It's just stupid. So after this backstage interview with Christopher Daniels and SCU, it's not SCU anymore. So Frankie Kazarian came in. They weren't happy. Christopher Daniels said he's thinking about retiring, which, oh God, I hope he doesn't, because I love Christopher Daniels. He's a veteran, great wrestler. I've been watching him for years. So he hugged Frankie Kazarian, but he said something in his ear, which, I don't know what it was, but he did say something in his ear because you could see him. And then he left, and then Frankie Kazarian said, if Christopher Daniels wants to retire, that's his choice. He's a big boy. He can make his own decisions. But as far as Frankie Kazarian's concerned, he's going to take revenge on the Young Bucks for that BS last week where they cheated like crazy, another stupid referee thing, to win the match. So I'm like, good, Frankie, go beat them up. Their characters right now are douches and, sure, why not? But, and then came your new TNT champion, Miro, which I love. I love seeing Miro being the monster that he should have been in that crap company, WWE. Now AEW is doing it right, and he is going to destroy anybody who gets in his way. And he already said it, and he already did Darby Allin. He basically, put that boy in a coffin. So he was talking about how he's going to be, defending his belt every week like it should be because it's a television title. And anybody that wants to get in the ring with him, he's going to destroy. And then the coolest thing, again, comes next was the Murder Hawk. Lance Archer walks out onto the stage and he's like, all right, let's go. And so Jake the Snake Roberts was holding back Lance Archer because Jake the Snake is funny because Jake the Snake is like, no, we don't fight for free. Pay us. Sign a contract and pay us. We don't fight for free. So they're going to fight at Double or Nothing. So this is going to be awesome. Two big monsters going at it for the TNT title. This is going to be an awesome match. And this match alone, I will buy the pay-per-view to watch. To watch Miro and the Murder Hawk go at it. Because, oh my God, these two big dudes are going to just destroy each other. As you can tell by the big smile on my face, I am very happy to see this match. So, oh boy. So then this happens next. Okay, this was also part of this was good and bad at the same time, and then got really good at the end. So or after the match was over, I should say. Yeah, so it was typical. The Young Bucks the new douchebags, the new heels taking on the new young team of Varsity Blondes. But again, this was another one that makes me want to put up that referee counter because this referee was so stupid. I think he has glasses and a cane because he saw nothing that was going on. And so this match was really good. These matches could be really good without all the stupidity that they're doing in them. So at one point, Nick Jackson grabs that stupid cold spray again, whatever that stuff is supposed to be. It's probably just an air can. And sprays Brian Pillman Jr. in the eyes. And then he threw the can to Matt. And then Matt runs over and sprays the girl who's with the Varsity Blondes now in the face with it. I'm sorry, you just assaulted a girl? Yeah, okay. And then he runs over and sprays Griff Garrison in the face with it. So again, that's an aerosol can. So again, the referee is standing approximately 2 feet away, being distracted by Nick Jackson, and he literally doesn't hear all of this spraying noise going on inside the ring, less than 2 feet behind him. I'm sorry, if I'm standing somewhere doing something, even talking, and I hear an aerosol can right behind me, what's that? No, because they're deaf. They don't hear anything that happens less than 2 feet away from them. So yeah, it's getting ridiculous with this stuff of they're just making these referees look like, they're the stupidest things on the planet. Like I said, blind, deaf, and dumb is what they're doing. And it's just getting ridiculous. Come on. So with this, I think Matt Jackson locks in the the cloverleaf on Pillman Jr. Nick Jackson jumps in the ring and hits him with a split face buster, it looked like, while he was still in the cloverleaf. And then rolls out of the ring really quickly, and he had to, finally, he had to submit because he'd been locked in this thing for a long time. Just got his face slammed into the ring. So yeah, they get the win. And then as they're celebrating, like I said, all the people who, were talking trash in this thing, pretty much got their butts kicked around somehow. So while they're celebrating, how great they are, after all the cheating and doing all this stuff, who comes out and attacks them? Moxley and Kingston. So that was awesome. And they just beat the crap out of the Bucks. And then, to add insult to injury, which I laughed out loud because it was freaking hilarious the way they did it. Kingston steals their shoes. Supposedly they're $5,000 shoes or whatever they are, Dior, Nike or something like that, they said. So Kingston steals their shoes and then they run away, leaving the Young Bucks in the ring without any shoes on. And Kingston here, you can see, he's got them all and he's leaving the arena. So that was AEW Dynamite. And like I said, most of this show, all of the talking, way too much talking, was to set up everything, or to continue setting up everything for Double or Nothing coming up at the end of the month. But, again, too much talking. I was bored and going to sleep. The matches were almost all good with just a few bad spots going on. But yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to have to say this was a 3 out of 5. Middle of the road show for Dynamite. So yeah, if you've got the time, watch it. Tell me what you think of it. But yeah, I was not that impressed with it. It definitely wasn't one of the better shows. And like some of the matches with Moxley and Kingston being on that, and the Young Bucks, those were good. But yeah, this referee stuff is really beginning to piss me off because it's really bad. I mean, if you want to be WWE, then just say you're going to be WWE and do the same crap they do, because that's how bad this is getting. So yeah, 3 out of 5. Nothing else I can say. But if you enjoyed this video review of AEW Dynamite and part of my AEW Week In Review, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.